So, I am having to be transparent, but also obedient today. And I have a little bit of time because my phone is on 5%. But I am in the phase of my life, and I am on this point in my journey where I'm having to trust God with my love life. And every time I pray, every time I fast, this person seems to come back up. Now, for those of you who have been in that phase in your life where you have been so consumed by who your husband is or who your wife is, the devil tends to weasel his way in different ways. So you have to fast in order to get the clarity that you need. Okay, I'm going to give that disclaimer. But I am in a relationship with someone, and we have been in each other's life for probably like 4 years now. For those of you who are brokenhearted and who have not healed and who have not been through hell and high water in the wilderness of forgiveness and ending generational curses and figuring out who you are and your identity in God outside of a man, this ain't for you. This about to trick you real bad, okay? But I was the good sis who had been through a lot of crap, who had been doing a lot of crap, and I used my trauma as a crutch for a very long time. And so it got to the point to where I constantly pushed this person away. Don't get me wrong. And one thing I will always say about this person, it didn't matter who I was talking to. It didn't matter how he came up. I was always say, he's a good man. He's just not the man for me. I was the toxic one, okay? For quite some time. But I am having to be obedient today because it's difficult right now. I am at the point to where we're not talking about a woman who is desperate for a man, and we're not talking about a man who is straight dogging this woman out and straight using her. Like, no, we're talking about a man who is truly and genuinely a good man. His whole heart is all about being a giver, no matter who it is. Family, friends, his jobs, like just an overall good guy. When I say I have asked God, and you got to be careful what you ask for, I have asked God to give me a man who is a true reflection of him on this earth. I was not ready for that. Okay, I wasn't ready because I asked for this man and I got this man, but I'm having a hard time when it comes to him being such a giver to everybody else and not making the time for me. Now, I'm not saying this to be bitter. I'm saying this because sometimes we have to give our men, especially our good man, okay? The man who God has already created you for. Let's go back to God's word. God has created the wife for her husband, okay? God had to transform me into the wife that I need to be for him. Along with that, okay, I had to be ready to understand that who he is may not change until he's ready to include me. This goes to him being a giver. This man is going to show up for any and everybody. But also he has this mindset of being single for so long to where it is difficult for him to start including me in certain things. Again, ladies who are triggered by this, you got to look at this higher. You have to look at this at a point of who God is and what God reflects. God says this man is a giver. God says that this man is a good man. God said this man is a beacon and a vessel of who I am, right? So you have to give him grace. You have to show the true fruits of the Spirit with him. You have to be gentle with him, okay? You can express how you feel. You can express your needs. But until God transforms his heart to say, okay, you no longer should have this mentality of singleness anymore. You now have a person that I have sent to you. And also for us women, like, we have to decide that we no longer want to be in this traumatized mindset anymore. Just because this man didn't text you back in the past 2 hours, that made it work, okay? I say this because I'm talking about myself, okay? But we have to go through our healing, because we will be the ones to mess up that that marriage that we've been asking God for, that amazing man that we have been asking God for. We will be our own downfall, and God is going to only send it. In my case, He sent them back a couple times, but it's like God has given me. He set me down. It's like, I'm not sending them back no more. So you might want to go ahead and be patient with this man. You might want to go ahead and be gentle with this man. You might want to have to deal with long suffering. You may want to be kind to him and gentle with him, because this is who you asked for. And right now, what you're having to deal with is yourself and patience. Just because you impatient not going to make that man move no faster than what he needs to move at his own pace that God has already said. You cannot change this man. Only God can do that. Only God can improve your situation. You cannot badger him into doing nothing that you want him to do, okay? If this is what you want, if this is what you keep asking me for, this is God speaking. If this is what you keep asking me for, you have to be patient. Stop asking me for a good man and I'm sending him to you, and you keep pushing him away because you keep be triggered by something. Whether he didn't text you for the past 2 hours after you know for a fact he at work, okay? After he out here helping his mama out with something, and you decide that he too busy to talk to you. No, the right man is gonna make the time. He's gonna make sure he reach out to you. He's going to secure you in every way. And don't be the person, I'm talking to myself, but also my good sis out here who is triggered by a good man and don't know if she really want him or not. Let him show up for people. Let him show up for people. Let him be the giver that he is. At the right moment and at the right time, he is going to secure you the way you need to be secured. I say that as in, if you have expressed to him that it bothers you that he goes all day without calling you, give him time to improve that problem. If he's for you and if he cares about you, he's going to make that difference. He's going to make that change. He's going to make that improvement. And it's not necessarily you trying to change him. It's the fact that he sees that you're the one that's worth changing. He sees you as the one that is worth this improvement. He has sat back and he has thought about it. He has thought logically and he has thought emotionally about what she said. What is she requesting? Is it something that's too far-fetched? Is it something that I'm willing to do for her? If you're the one for him, he's going to make those improvements for you. Now, a part of that is giving him time to do that. So I just had to be obedient and do this video. And because not only for you as my sisters in Christ who are really waiting on that man, really waiting on your husband, your true husband, your divine counterpart. I'm not talking about some man that you think is your husband, some man that you keep dreaming about, some man that you've been wanting because y'all so trauma triggered by each other. No, we're talking about a real man that was truly sent by God, someone that came after your healing, someone that came after you have sought God and fell on your face about your purpose. We're talking about a man who came after all the wilderness times, and we're talking about 2, 3, and 4 wildernesses that you had to go to before this man came. We're talking about that man. We're talking about a man who God has sent just for you to have a additional purpose in life. We have, and I'm going to speak on this real quickly, we have our own individual purposes, something that God has already preordained us to do, but we also have a purpose that is connected to our husband, to our divine counterpart, to our spouse that God has sent. It's like you have a cap on life until you get divinely connected again, equally yoked. That's what we're talking about. We're talking about being equally yoked with someone that God has sent your way. Not somebody that's supposed to be here for a season. No, we're talking about your lifetime partner, your husband, your wife, the person that God has intended for you to be with, okay? So you got to be patient with this man. You have to put down the habits of the trauma. If you've been through your healing process, and again, this is continuous. This is something that you will continue to do throughout your life. It's called a life of righteousness. It's called a life of salvation. This does not stop. This does not happen overnight. It happens over time, over our whole lifetime. But if you are deciding, you have to choose to put down those old habits of being spicy all the time and popping off every time he do something that you don't like. No, it says you got to be patient with that man. That is a man. He is a man's man. He not out here playing. He not out here trying to be in each and every female's bed. He not trying to do anything that where he's not able to provide for himself, for any type of future that he wants to have, for his habits, for his entertainment. He ain't in the street doing all that. This man is at work. This man is out here helping his mama and his daddy. We are talking about a good man. So chill, relax. You don't have to figure it out because God has already worked it out. This is something that God has already ordained. So that means that what you're going through right now, where you're having to be patient with this man until he gets over the fact that he no longer has to do life by himself, but that he now has a divine partner, someone that he can be equally yoked with. Until God takes that veil off his eyes, sit back and chill. This is something for me, but this is something for my good sis out here, who out here struggling, who knows that she has a good man, who she's supposed to be with, and you out here playing. You the one playing. You the one not being patient. You the one playing with your